Welcome to Chuk Woo's channel. I am Woo. Like, share, and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about crisis readiness. Are you and your household ready in the event, God forbid, that something were to happen? It's November 2025. There's a lot going on in the U.S. There's a lot going on in the world. U.S. government has been shut down for the longest period of time in history. Food stamp benefits are not being paid. There's an increase in polarity left and right on the political system, right? Across the world, various wars, Israel, Ukraine, Sudan. There's just a lot happening. You couple that all with the increased cost of living, inflation, the relatively soft job market, and I just feel like we're at a time where people should take a step back and look at their situation and say, hey, am I really ready in case something were to happen? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about a few topics, giving you some tactical tips, as I like to do, to make sure you and your family are ready. In the comments, give me your feedback. Let me know some things I'm missing. I'm happy to take that. This is supposed to be a collaboration here. So let's get started. Money tips. Number one, you want to start by paying off your high interest debt, credit cards, things of that nature. Why? One of the most important things in a crisis is that you have cash available. It's easier to have cash available once you've paid off that high interest debt that's preventing you from saving. It's number one. Once you pay that off, you need to maintain 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses, right? You have a budget, I hope. Take a look at your budget, see how much you spend, how much you need to live per month, multiply that by 3 to 6, and you need to work diligently to make sure you have that amount tucked away. It's not going to be easy, right? I talked about the rise in inflation, the rise in cost of living, so I understand it's going to be hard, but these are things that you must do. Some of it is going to be hard. You've paid off your high interest debt. You've started to stack your bread and make sure you have 3 to 6 months worth of savings. Next thing you need to do is you need to keep some amount, you determine, of physical cash on you. If there's a crisis, the banking system is down, you can't access the bank, you can't access the ATM, you want to have some physical cash on you. You probably also want to have some silver, physical silver on you. You probably also want to have some gold. Now, you want to be smart about this. You don't want to tell your friends or family that you have a bunch of gold and silver and cash tucked away in your home. That makes you, sort of a target. But you do want to have some of this handy. I think we've come to the point where we really rely on the system. But we're talking about a crisis here, whether it's an attack on the power grid, domestic terrorism. There's all sorts of things that could go wrong, a natural disaster. So you want to be very much prepared. Finally, as it relates to finances, it's sort of in that vein. You want to make sure you have a backup digital copy of all your important documents, social security card, driver's license, birth certificates, passports, etc. You need to keep your physical copy, of course, but you also want to have some digital copies. Okay, so those are the first 4 tips in the money sort of topic. The next thing is home and family safety. You need to have canned goods tucked away, enough to feed your family for at least a month. You need to have water tucked away, gallons of water. Most people go through a gallon to a half gallon of water per day. You want to do the math and make sure you have enough water tucked away. You want to prepare in case there's a power outage. You're going to need batteries. You're going to need radios. You're going to need solar chargers. You're going to need matches. You're going to need kerosene, right, for the lamps, etc. Butane, if you need to power a mini stove, etc. So you want to prepare for a power outage. I think if you were to take a step back and say, hey, let's say the power went out right now for 6 hours, what would I be doing? Most people, like myself, before I started to think through making this video, would just be sitting in the dark. I had nothing. So I'm starting to get these things together. You also want to make sure you have medical kits, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, all your prescription medicine, at least a month worth of that, those for you and your family. And then finally, in the home and family safety piece, you want to see if you have any elderly family members that are in the local area. Make sure they're taken care of. You need to have a plan for what you're going to do with people who maybe are in a wheelchair, maybe they're not mobile. These are stressful things to think about, but once you start writing down your situation, you put a plan together, a lot of your stress is going to go away because now you know you're prepared. Chance favors the prepared mind, which is what they say. The next topic is, this is more local community. You want to know your neighbors. That sounds weird. Why? If in the event of a crisis, you know who your neighbors are, you know what skills they have, whether they're a mechanic, an electrician, they're a gardener, you're probably going to be doing some bartering, some trading with that person. So you want to have trusted neighbors in your physical area, right? You also want to know where your local shelters are, your hospitals, your clinic. You want to have a map together. You want to understand where you can go to charge your cell phone, where the power stations are, where you can go as a community to see what is happening around you in case the news is down, etc. You also want to have, like I said, your tools available, screwdrivers, car jumpers for your battery, your whole toolkit ready. You're going to need, like I said, canned food, safety material. So make sure everything is in a nice, neat place because you might need to trade some of this. You also want to invest finally in your own skills. Are you an electrician? Can you change a tire? Can you help someone set up a small garden? Can you help someone with food preservation, things of that nature? It's all of the basic skills that many people don't have because we now live in a very modern society, so we can pay everybody to do these things that are going to be very important if we get into a crisis situation, okay? So think of this as a general rule break. There are many other things to consider that I haven't mentioned in this video, but I think this is a good start. Let's hope nothing happens, but the way things are going, I just think that now's a good time, like I said, to start to think about what would you do if the situation got worse, okay? Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found value in this video. Let me know some of your own thoughts in the comments. I'll talk to you next time.